Okay, good afternoon, good evening, everyone here. My name is AJ Awed. I am the co-executive director for the Cedar Riverside Community Council, which is the neighborhood organization for Brian Coyle. So I just want to say first and foremost, welcome to our lovely neighborhood. We have a beautiful forum here between the Ward 6 candidates. I won't say much. I'm just very glad to see you guys all here. Hopefully you guys write some tough questions for our candidates. And with that, I'll turn it over to our moderator.
Thank you so much, AJ. Good evening and welcome to the Minneapolis City Council Ward 6 Candidate Forum. My name is Whitney Larson and I am a member of the League of Women Voters, but not a resident of Ward 6. I am pleased to be moderating this forum this evening. As we begin the forum, we recognize that we come together today as a community once again shocked and traumatized by gun violence. Let us join together now in a moment of respectful silence to mourn those lives lost, acknowledge those injured and affected by senseless acts of violence, and reflect upon what each of us might do to end gun violence in our communities. The League of Women Voters is a nonpartisan volunteer organization with a long history of providing unbiased candidate and issue information that is widely used by voters regardless of their political beliefs. This forum is co-sponsored by Phillips West Neighborhood Organization, Make Voting a Tradition, IATA Leads, Stevens Square, Elliott Park Neighborhood, Cedar Riverside Community Council, Ventura Village, and the League of Women Voters, Minneapolis. The views expressed are those of the candidates and not those of the League or the co-sponsors. Neither the League of Women Voters nor its co-sponsors endorse or oppose candidates or political parties. We are holding this forum for voters to hear from the candidates and to compare their ideas. This forum is being held in front of a live audience at the Brian Coyle Center and is being live streamed to the League of Women Voters Minneapolis' YouTube channel. This is a forum, not a debate. Candidates are asked questions to which they will respond directly to the audience and not to each other as we would in a debate. The candidates are aware of the format and have agreed to it in advance. The recording of this forum will be available in its entirety after the forum and will have a closed caption option available in multiple languages. Thank you to MCN6 for the production and recording of this event. We ask that candidate buttons or campaign t-shirts not be worn in this room and that no signs or literature be distributed during this event. Please remain as quiet as possible while the candidates are speaking so that everyone can hear the discussion, especially the interpreters. We also would ask that you hold your applause until the end of the forum so that candidates will have the maximum time to respond to your questions. Finally, please silence all electronic devices. There will be 3 interpreters, Somali, Oromo, and Spanish, who are here to help with interpretation during the forum, drafting questions, or talking to the candidates after the forum. Ward 6 is home to the Twin Cities' largest East African community and is the center of the Native American community in Minneapolis. Both candidates on the ballot were invited to the forum and are with us this evening. They are, in alphabetical order, Mohammed Hassan and Jamal Osman. We thank the candidates in advance for engaging in a respectful and civil discourse. We have timekeepers sitting in the front row so that each candidate has the same amount of time to respond to questions. Following the opening statements of 1.5 minutes, each candidate will have up to 1 minute to answer each question and 1 minute to make a closing statement. The timekeeper will hold up a card when there are 15 seconds remaining and a stop card when time is up. We ask that the candidate finish their sentence and stop at that point. We expect this forum to last approximately 1 hour until 7 p.m. Following the forum, there will be 30 minutes for the audience to meet casually with the candidates. Questions are based on community concerns and were developed by our committee, submitted in advance from co-sponsor surveys, and solicited from the community at large. During the forum, we will take written questions from the audience until 6:45 p.m. A volunteer will gather the questions from the audience and hand them to our question facilitator then to the moderator, myself. We ask that the questions be clear, pertinent to the issues at hand, within the scope of the office, and made in the form of a question, not a statement. All questions are carefully reviewed and rewritten when necessary to make sure that they are directed to all candidates, forward-looking, not biased, and not of a personal nature. We look for a balance of topics that affect all of us, both locally and in the city as a whole. To get to as many topics as possible, we will limit the number of questions in each category. We may consolidate questions of the same general topic. If you feel your question is not addressed tonight, please follow up with the candidates after the forum. Finally, all submitted questions are the property of the League of Women Voters, Minneapolis. Now, let me introduce you to the candidates. For the candidate's opening statement, we ask that they address the question, why are you running and what are your qualifications? Each candidate will have up to 1.5 minutes to respond. It was determined by drawing numbers that the first candidate to speak is candidate Osman. The order will then alternate between the candidates. Candidate Osman?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jamal Osman. Thank you so much for joining us today. And thank you, League of Women, for really hosting this important meeting. I know last few weeks it's been tough for our community, especially the school shooting and what happened yesterday. In America, we debate. We do not do violence, political violence. Enough is enough. With that being said, I have been honored to represent you last 5 years. I went through 3 elections. I have done a lot of work in our neighborhood. When I came in 2020, things were tough, but we have improved as a city. We have developed a great public safety right now, but we do face a lot of struggle with addiction and homelessness. When we get elected, we are the leader of the city. We need to come together and really tackle some of the issues. In Ward 6, we have over 96% renters, large families. My promise to you was affordable housing. We were able to get a lot of affordable housing built in here with our commons, Native American clinic, and many more, and improve public safety. I will tell you, I am proud to say I have served you 5 years, and I am the swing vote on the council, a common sense council member who have represented in Ward 6. So thank you so much for tonight.
Thank you. Candidate Hassan?
Good evening. My name is Mahmoud Hassan. I'm candidate for Minneapolis City Council Ward 6. And it's time for change. We need the leaders focusing helping people, not helping themselves. We need fewer scandals and fewer political game city insiders. The incumbent is the part of the problem. The highest homeless in Minneapolis in Ward 6. And that is not something good because for failure, Mr. Osman, leadership. So we need time for come together and to address that issue. My name is, again, Hassan. I grew up this neighborhood. I've been here 10 years. My family live here. And we need to make sure today is a time for change. Mr. Osman, he's been here 5 years, and we see public safety, the highest crime, homeless, housing issue. So I think so people, they have to come together and address the issue. Also, the way I see in Minneapolis, leaders, we need to make sure the leaders can trust, make sure public funding, not me and my family. The public funding will Ward 6 and Minneapolis people. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we move to the questions from the live audience and those submitted in advance. Candidates will have up to 1 minute to answer these questions. And we will go back and forth, starting this time with candidate Hassan. The first question. Many are concerned with the increased gun violence in our community. As a city council member, what can you do and what measures do you support to help reverse this current trend and respond to citizens' need for safer communities? Candidate Hassan. Many are concerned with the increased gun violence in our community. As a city council member, what can you do and what measures do you support to help reverse this current trend and respond to citizens' need for safer communities?
Okay. My first, just if you answer that question, we need more police, and absolutely we need Minneapolis police transparency and accountability. Also, we need mental health responses to make sure police training handle for the mental and social workers. So at this time, we need more police and to make sure also community input. Everything is a proposal. They have to participate or six residents and Minneapolis to make sure everybody on the table.
Thank you. Candidate Osman?
Well, gun violence is an issue around the country, and we have witnessed that. As a city council members, we need to put resource to the community, a prevention to make sure the youth are being taken care of. One of the challenging things that I see in city Minneapolis is a lot of youth are dealing with a lot of addiction and mental health. And the best way to tackle that is bring back some resources in here. I'll give you an example. See, the Riverside was struggling with a lot of crimes and gun violence, but last 5 years, because we invested a violent interrupters program, 15 guys full-time coming to the neighborhood and talking to the kids. That program has been successful, and we continue to fight. Same neighborhood as Elliott Park, Stevens Square, and Ventura Village. We need to expand those kind of programs and be able to bring back the resource that's needed, not just a city resource, but also as a state resource in our community. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is, what progress in public safety have you seen over the last 4 years, and what are your top public safety priorities? This time we will begin with Candidate Osman.
Well, like my beginning of my statement, we have seen a lot change since 2020. We were able to increase the police recruitment. Right here in this room, I hosted a couple of recruitment where the Commissioner of Public Safety was here, the police chief was here. We were able to get young men to sign up, and now overwhelmingly we are getting more officers. But one of the things that I have done is to build good relationship with the chief. Build great relationship with Inspector Billy Peterson from right here in First Precinct. We hosted community conversation. We went back to community leaders to have those conversations. And I think one of the biggest things that made change in city of Minneapolis is having a successful city behavior crisis response. Not everything police has to respond. So that program has been successful, and I have seen the benefit of it. Thank you so much. Yes.
Candidate Hassan.
I will invest in community-based safety program. Think like a neighborhood watch, groups, and mental health responders, and youth beneficiary programs. At the time, I support the police accountability building and between law enforcement and the community.
Thank you. The next question is also about public safety. How will you approach public safety and community policing to ensure the well-being of all residents? Are there any programs specific to Ward 6 you want to pursue? And if so, what are they? Candidate Hassan.
First of all, actually, I just bring people together, and we need all Minneapolis police to make sure serving with the community. And we have to build and trust each other, police and the community. Also, I'm going to support in town hall meetings to discuss more and debate how and the best strategy to get our police and community are understanding and engaging each other. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Osman.
Thank you. One of the things we have seen that has worked is the model that we put forward. Establishing Lake Street Safety Center has been successful because we have a lot of programs out there people can access to 311. Can get file reports, and also go meet community navigators and crime specialists. I actually want to bring that and expand it right here in Ward 6. I know it's on Lake Street, folks can go there. can go over there, but right here, having and see the riverside, I think it will be super successful having a program just like that. And one of the things that I was a decider vote was bringing back third precinct back to the neighborhood. We were able to purchase a building and 26 and Minnehaha, and not just open a standalone precinct, but public safety precinct that includes resources like victims resources, so folks can just go to the station and get services, especially individuals that deal with crimes.
Thank you. He gets to finish his sentence. Yes, thank you. Our next question has to do with housing. As a city council member, what 2 actions would you prioritize to build a more sustainable housing economy in Minneapolis for renters and owners alike? First, candidate Osman.
Thank you so much. I think my record speaks well. We have a large public housing. We got to make sure public housing are being funded. One of the things that I authored and I continue to fight is securing $5 million continued funding for public housing. We have a large residence, especially a senior residence here, and also making sure that the allocating funding for affordable housing. As I talked about NAC, Native American Community Clinic, City of Minneapolis were able to invest over $3 million because I fight for that. Having without commons, Rifkin apartments, increasing city rent relocation. There's a lot of programs that have worked that I only have 1 minute. I cannot cover everything, but continue supporting the residents and tenants and making sure that we are getting affordable housing, not just affordable housing, but deep affordable housing, like 30%. Thank you.
Candidate Hassan.
I will push in for more affordable housing, protecting tenancy from unfair eviction, and work the city programs helping people moving from temporary shelter and improving housing.
Thank you. How would you address the current situation in which homeowners' property values are declining as the property taxes rise? Please articulate 2 actions you will take that will change this trajectory. Candidate Hassan.
Second.
How would you address the current situation in which homeowners' property values are declining as the property taxes rise? Please articulate 2 actions you will take that will change this trajectory.
That's a big issue in Minneapolis. We've seen many homeowners now are increasing renting. So we need to make a solution for state level and county level. And we have to bring people together to address this issue, not only homeowners and also developers, but also city levels and county. This is a big issue for housing when it's coming for state of Minnesota.
Thank you. Candidate Osman?
Yes, downtown value went down last 5 years. And who's going to pick up the tab is homeowners. Homeowners were passed, the levy continued to get increased. And I'm proud to say last year we were able to cut the levy from 8.6 to 6.8, I believe, from mayor's proposal budget. So my colleagues and I got together and we were able to get lower the levy, even though the mayor has vetoed it, the overall budget, we were able to override and be responsible. Some of the things that work and what I will do is to make sure what programs are working. What programs are working that are not working, so we can take that money and spend it somewhere else. And not just creating programs, but creating programs that really work, that we have seen the benefit of it. So with that being said, as a city, we need to make sure that the homeowners are not the only one we have to provide better services, make sure the streets are clean, the lights are on, and so on. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Just have to stick with the
time.
I know it's a lot to cover. Yeah, appreciate it. Our next question has to do with mental health and addiction. How do you advocate supporting culturally specific services for people with addiction and mental health issues? What opportunities would you like to see the city offer for residents in recovery? Candidate Osman, you're first.
Oh, thank you so much. One of the things I have done that I'm proud of is to bring funding back to the neighborhood. As you can see, those guys on the back, those guys is called Ambassadors Program. That program has existed the last 3 years. And if you go down there, right there by Cedar Cultural Center, you will see Metro Youth, which is Violent Interrupters Program. So the way to deal with mental health and violence is bringing programs. What do they do, those guys? They go talk to the young men that's struggling and asking them, hey, what do you need today? Do you need a bed? How can I help you? So creating programs that work for the neighborhood and for the culturally specific neighborhood. And during the opioid settlement, I only have 15 seconds. During the opioid settlement, city received $10 million. That's why every year, $150,000 were allocated specifically to Native American community and East African community for culturally specific treatment of opioid. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Hassan?
Yes, this is a big issue when it's coming in Minneapolis, especially my community. Last 3 years, 200 East African youth dying opioid crisis. And this is a big issue. Not only East African, also other residents of Minneapolis. So I have a program, if I elect to get funding. First of all, more transitional homes, professional social workers, and make sure we have to get sustainable programs, long-term solution. That's my answer.
Thank you. The next question has to do with homelessness. What programs should the city provide for intervention before addicted residents become unhoused? And how should the city support community members who are unhoused due to addiction? Candidate Hassan.
Yes, actually, we need this issue. It is very important for our community, especially Minneapolis residents. So I have a plan, if I elect a city of Minneapolis, to bring my colleague, City Councilor and the Mayor, to have a plan and a fight for county level, city level, and business community to address the issue and to make sure long-term plan.
Thank you. Candidate Osman.
Well, the homeless individuals are human beings. First of all, we have to treat them as a humane way. I know the city of Minneapolis has not been a best model, bulldozing some of the encampments we have. Yes, encampments are not a safe place for folks to stay. I agree with that, but we still have to treat them the best way. One of the things we have done in the city of Minneapolis is add money to the shelter system, like funding Avivo. We were able to get $1 million to Avivo. And also creating policies that will help the individuals stay in their home, which is tenant rights protection. I was able to co-author 30 days eviction notice. If you are a landlord, you're not able to just evict individuals. You need to give them notice so they're able to go to the county and be able to pay some money. And we gotta fund more affordable housing. Not just affordable housing, but 30% AMI. That's why we did the WDAC. WDAC Commons is 100%, 39 units, 30% AMI. And those families are staying indoors tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is also related to, sorry, did you go? You did answer. Yes.
I already.
You did. Okay, that's what I thought. I'm sorry. You just looked at me and I wanted to make sure I was covering all my bases. The next question also has to do with encampments, which you mentioned. And it's from the audience. How should the city approach encampments on private property if allowed by the property owner? Candidate Osman.
Very good question. We actually just had that debate like a couple weeks ago where Sabri property was allowing residents to stay in his backyard. First of all, we have laws, we have policies we got to uphold. If any individual say, hey, well, you can come and stay in my backyard, is that a suitable place for individuals to sleep? No, it's not. People need bathrooms. People need sanitation. So the public health and safety comes first. I voted for actually city continuing to sue Mr. Sabri because he allowed his property. And if you see the images, it was not a good condition for any human being to live there. Encampments is a huge issue. And I'm telling you right now, the way things it's going, it's not working. We need the state help. We need the county help to make sure we are dealing with overall issue of encampments.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Candidate Hassan?
Yes. First of all, homeless is our community member. It's our father, our military service, our taxpayers. So we need to make sure we have to get good quality service. So we have to have a plan to get transition homes. I disagree private property because my first priority will be safety and healthy for our community. So I do believe if I elect in city council, my first priority will be addressing homeless. And it's the highest homeless ever seen in Minneapolis is this year, 2025. So this issue is a big issue. So our people, they need the care. So I have to fight with the county level, with the state level, because these programs, they need funding for the money. So that money, they not only afford for the city, we have to get state, federal, and also county. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is also from the audience, and it relates to the City Council collaborating with other governments across the state. So how do you view the issues with Hennepin County Medical Center? And would you support a state initiative to move to universal healthcare that may include some form of co-op with other states, like what is happening on the coasts? Candidate Hassan, you are first.
Actually, I don't believe that. And actually, just, I supporting with whatever just, the community in Minneapolis are saying. And I think so that's needed to debate. Whatever community I decided I'm participating for the input, only I support it. Without that, I'm not supporting. Everything is, you're saying, I agree, there are some points, but I support the community input and participation for the community for that issue. Thanks.
Thank you. Candidate Osman?
Well, building that relationship with other government agencies is very important. I see Senator Zainab over there. I think, one of the state delegates that we continue to advocate for the city of Minneapolis. It's a Senator Zainab is here. Well, she's all the way in the back, but collaboration is very important. City of Minneapolis, like I mentioned, cannot, work itself. We have to work with the county. We have to work with the state. And to answer your question, Hennepin County actually recently met and voted to take over because it was financially collapsing the system it was. So universal healthcare, I'm always for universal healthcare. I think we need to be, of course, the first world countries like Sweden and Norway, where everyone gets treated equally. And so, yeah, of course, that's my answer. Thank you.
Thanks so much. We are at the halfway point, so I just want to give the audience a reminder to please submit questions. We have about 15 more minutes to submit some questions. All right. Our next question also relates to health in a way. What is the City Council's role in food availability in food deserts? What do you propose so that affordable, fresh food is available to all residents? And what do you think about municipal grocery stores? Candidate Osman, you are first.
It's a big debate. Listen, there are a lot of individuals that don't have a grocery, like, right here in Elliott Park, we don't have a grocery. We've been working with the neighborhood organization and the business community in that area to make sure there are accessible food. People can go and get it. I think the city has done in North Minneapolis, where the Walgreens, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, ran out of business. City was able to work with the business community over there and establish that grocery over there. But do I think municipal run store can work? Probably not. Anything the government run is very challenging. So I don't believe municipal grocery store is possible, but we need to incentivize and give community funding so they're able to have their own business, especially places that are struggling with food shortage. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Hassan.
I just supporting for our community, business community funding, and to get a grant from the city of Minneapolis to create open stores for the neighborhood needed. Also, I'm going to support into more organization helping food bank to people who cannot afford for groceries to give them food.
Thank you. Our next question relates to small businesses. How will you as a city council member prioritize investments and support small businesses in Ward 6? Candidate Hassan.
Oh, okay.
Would you like me to repeat?
Yes.
How will you, as a city council member, prioritize investments and support small businesses in Ward 6?
Such a job, small business is very important because small business is backbone of economic city of Minneapolis. So I would like to support for the small business to get loan for city of Minneapolis, also guarantee to establish business, also to get more training and to help them how to open businesses, to get the license. And I think so small business is my first priority. And I try whatever I can do as a city council.
Thank you. Candidate Osman?
As the chair of Business, Housing, and Zoning Committee, I know firsthand that our businesses, especially our local businesses, are struggling. You know, our cultural corridors are struggling. And last year, I was proud actually to expand and put more money to business support, especially the technical training programs, the facade programs, and also expanding Latino and East African businesses in that area. And I will tell you this, the retail business is struggling, especially if you're a restaurant owner. Things have been tough because things like the well-being of the community, you know, that's why I'm anti, dirtiness, and making sure that we have done a lot of work in See the Riverside by picking up the trash and anti-graffiti and making sure the graffiti and people feel like they're coming and spending their money, so the place has to look great. So I know I ran out of time, but go ahead. That's first.
All right. Our next question relates to the environment. Renters and multifamily unit residents historically have had limited means to do energy efficiency improvements. What programs, policies, or tools would you use to expand or create to help them save energy and reduce their energy cost burden? Candidate Osman, you are first.
For me first. City of Minneapolis is actually very, very good putting money and caring about the environment. The contract of, recently that we passed with Excel Energy and Centerpoint Energy, we were able to making sure that they are giving back to the community. So we have created and partnered with the community members. We have, I think it's over $10 million that we have created programs where people are able, especially the homeowners, are able to partner with the neighborhood organizations or the organizations that's handling the environment and get those subsidized. First of all, the program City of Minneapolis is open right now. If anybody is having a difficulty with energy, they can go and get a free assessment. Everyone can get a free assessment over there. And then the cost of it, depending on your income, city will be able to help that. So we have invested in the environment. And got a lot of money to say, but go ahead.
Candidate Hassan?
Yes, environment is very important for our community. And I would like to support for expand and to get more subside, helping with the community of.
Thank you. Our next question is from the live audience. And what is your position on bag fees at retailers? Would you support a repeal of that fee? Candidate Hassan, you're first.
Say again?
Would you like to say more?
Yeah.
Would just like to say that you're in support?
Yes.
Okay.
What was the question? Bad fees?
Yeah. What is your position on bag fees at retailers? And would you support a repeal of the bag fees?
Oh, bag fees. Mm-hmm. Yes, I support bag fees. I think any way for us to listen, we live in one bold world. We gotta protect it. You know, the environment is very important. We need to be able to demand more clean energy, solar system. Folks can have a solar in their units, subsidize that programs, and make sure the folks that are polluting are being targeted. So one of the things we have done in Ward 9, I think my colleague, Councilmember Jason Chavez, is continue to fight and advocate through the state to make sure that these polluters stop polluting our air. I live in Phillips West. It has one of the lowest quality air pollution. And I advocated to even closing down Herc, Hennepin County Herc, where the trash continued to burn. What is the long-term solution of that? We can't have that open and make sure we're dumping all the toxic waste in our air. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Our next question is also from the live audience, and it's regarding youth. What would you specifically do to connect and support youth? Candidate Osman, you're first.
The way to support youth is connect them through the community. As I mentioned, Metro Youth Diversion, which we continue to fund last 4 years. Actually, the administration, mayor's office last year tried to take away that program because they say that program is not needed anymore because Cedar Riverside is safe. And I was like, that's the point. That shows us the program has worked. So we got to make sure the program continues to get the services they need, funding they need. The way to connect the youth is through the community and partner with community organizations, going through the cultural specific programs and mentorship. As a father, as a volunteer in the past for youth programs, I think the best way you can mentor a kid is giving your time. We got to be able to, not finger point and say he's a bad kid, but we need to be able to bring that kid down and show him the mentorship that he deserves.
Thank you. Candidate Hassan?
Yes. Youth is very important for our community. First priority, youth funding more program, creating for sports, for school program, funding.
Hold on one moment. Microphone? We'll let you have your turn again. Can you test it? Oh. All right, start over.
To investment our youth, first of all, to funding education, creating jobs, more sports programs, crime prevention, civic engagement, and also to find the pathway to make sure not India homeless or drug addiction. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for bearing with the technical difficulty. All right, our next question relates to the neighborhood groups. Do you support funding for neighborhood associations? And what priority should this have in the budget? Candidate Hassan, you're first.
I support for the neighborhood funding, but we need transparency, we need accountability, we need to make sure taxpayers' money go a useful program, and also we need to community and participation. Without community participation and input, I'm not funding and signing any grant. So funding for the community important, but we need together, the community, the city council, the leaders come together, and also we need transparency, accountability. Thank you.
Candidate Osman?
Neighborhood community organizations are the heart of the community. We have 6 beautiful neighborhood community organizations here, like Elliott Park and Phillips West and Futura Village, Stevens Square. They have done a lot of great work. They are the way we connect to the residents. They have those meetings. They know the community. They continue to advocate the community. So about 4 years ago, we put out staff direction to make sure how do we increase the funding. They're not getting enough funding. I think they get about $100,000. CRCC here, $100,000. How did that's not going to support. Maybe that's like a couple employees to get them. So the study is coming soon, and I talked to my colleagues in the mayor's office to make sure the long-term neighborhood organizations are sustainable and their funding must increase, especially Cedar Riverside, Elliott Park, Stevens Square, and Ventura Village, and many organizations like that. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, our next question is from the audience. It says, we've lost many important retailers in Ward 6. What specifically would you and the City Council do to stop this? Candidate Osman, you're first.
One of the things we have done is not allow vacant buildings to continue to stay vacant. Before, I believe we only used to charge. If you are a landlord, you will keep your property, pay $7,000 a year. Now, it like triples. We charge $24,000. So that will require some of the landlords and the property owners to rent and not leave it vacant. The business is struggling. The best thing you can support is making sure the public safety is taken care of. Making sure the storefront is safe so folks can come and spend their money. Like the places in my community that have struggled is Stevens Square, right there on 18 and Nicollet. And one of the things we have done is to continue to advocate violent interrupters, making sure that the 5th Precinct police officers are coming and making sure that the public safety people are not going to come and spend their money if they feel unsafe. So we got to, number one, to make sure public safety is secure. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Hassan.
Yes. Absolutely, business owners to keep retailers our neighborhood is very important. Also, we need funding for our small businesses to keep our neighborhood. And because many buildings are maybe old and need remodeling or maintenance, so the owners, they cannot afford. So city should give the grant or long-term loan to pay back with the city. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next question is also from the audience. Do you support a free public transit system and dedicating public funds to it? Candidate Hassan.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Candidate Osman.
Yes, of course. And we also need to create, a sustainable transit system. One of the things that I advocated was Portland and Franklin, those streets, Portland and Park, those county streets are very unsafe for bikers, the people that are riding their bike, and pedestrian. And the speed is 30 miles an hour, but actually the average speed is 44 miles an hour. So the improvement is coming. Hennepin County have listened, and we hosted many meetings, and there will be a safety measure for folks to do more walking and more safety. And the transit, of course, that is the future. The future is the transit. And people are able to, be able to get that free, so they're able to travel where they're going from A to B. Thank you.
Thank you. This next question was submitted in a previous candidate forum, and we feel like this is an important question to ask. What resources and policies will you work on to keep our immigrants safe, both in Ward 6 and across the city? Candidate Osman.
We actually have done it a lot already to make sure our immigrants are taken care of. They are being targeted throughout as you know, the White House. We're a target. I'm an immigrant. I'm an individual who came here as a young man, but I'm American. I'm like everyone else. We need to be able to make sure the resources go in there. Immigrant businesses are being supported. When there's a wrongdoing, we have to speak up and making sure that what's happening are spoken. One of the things that scared our community is seeing ICE in our streets. Bloomington and Lake Street, you have seen that. Militarized ICE. So that is no. We have to speak out as city leaders. We have to speak out as state leaders and make sure no one should be targeted, no matter what their status is of immigration. Thank you so much.
Yes. We protect our immigrants, and my work history helping community for last 10 years, especially when it's coming to immigration. So I'm not supporting for Minneapolis Police cooperation with ICE. So I would like to make sure our immigrants are safe and to protect you from the ICE. Thanks.
Thank you. Our next question regards federal funding cuts. How do you see cuts in federal funding impacting city services and staffing? And how do you propose to continue delivering these services given the cuts? Candidate Hassan.
Federal funding is very important for our city of Minneapolis and the state, and we need that funding continue. And absolutely, I support him. And without that funding, it's not going to work for all programs for our city.
Thank you. Candidate Osman.
I think every city in the country is afraid of, federal funding cuts. We have discussed that, the scenario of having, public funding cut by the federal. One of the meetings and conversations we had is Minneapolis public housing. The vulnerable population that live there cannot afford to pay $1,700 or $2,000 a month. We need to be able to have some kind of sustainable way. So right now, as we speak, we're planning what happens if the federal government cuts. We're talking to our budget directors. We're planning the worst case scenario that can happen in the city of Minneapolis. And I cannot imagine having hundreds of people being evicted based on Donald Trump deciding to cut the funding. So as a city, we got to take care of our own people and our own citizens and make sure that we are creating safety net for them. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is from the audience. If elected, how will you ensure transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct for public contracts? First, candidate Osman.
Thank you so much. This came on a lot. I'll tell you this, every contract the city makes, we need to make sure is ethical. We need to make sure we're contracting the right people. I think we all remember the Sin City contract the city made. City contracted Israeli military organization to do some kind of safety survey. We don't need to contract them. We need to contract the locals. They can do that. So that is being recalled, and we're having that conversation as we speak. Transparency is very important, but everyone has a responsibility. Administration has responsibility. But as a council member, that is one of the things that I have stood. I voted against organizations that I thought unethical. I don't want to name a few of them, but you can see the record. I have voted against those contracts. We need to be responsible because the money is yours. It's your tax. You are taxpayers. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Candidate Hassan.
The contractor, I support local companies apply for the contract, and also all requirements must be make sure our people to get a beneficiary, especially also we need to create jobs for the community. And I do believe contract is very important for our economy. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next question is, how will you engage with residents to solicit feedback, involve them in the decision-making process, and ensure their voices are heard? Candidate Hassan. How will you engage with residents to solicit feedback, involve them in decision-making, and ensure their voices are heard?
Okay. As I say earlier, the residents, they have to participate and input. I would like to meet with the community and do more town hall meeting, more debate, more discussion, and finally we agree our future, where we're gonna go, and to make sure our community are on board. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Osman.
Well, one of the things I found very successful is having a community office hours. Elliott Park, I do twice a month, and also same thing with Seward neighborhood, the co-op. Folks come and talk to me and ask questions, and that is how I connect them. And also one of the most important thing I would say is attending monthly meeting for neighborhood organizations like Elliott Park and Phillips West. Residents are the policymakers, in my opinion, and mainly they just need the basic services. Is the street light working? Are we being protected by tenants? Is there a public works? Are they being able to pick up the trash today? Those are the basic services. So it's very important to connect residents no matter what. Of course, answer your emails and phone calls as well. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. All right. Our next question, I think, is a perennial favorite. How will you collaborate with other city council members, the mayor, and other government agencies in pursuing policies and decisions given many diverse views? Candidate Osman.
It's very, very important, as I mentioned. One of the biggest issue we have is encampments. And I know city of Minneapolis are not suitable or capable of taking care of that by themselves. The county plays a huge role. We need to be able to meet the county, have that conversation, build that relationship with the county, and same thing with the state. The county is the main social service provider. These folks need help. They need mental health, they need resources. So it's very important. But, what I have seen is that the challenge is sometimes because of the misconnect between the two agencies or the government agencies can really create a problem. But I would say that I have a wonderful relationship with our delegates in the state, and also Hennepin County commissioners. I think I brought her, Commissioner Angela Conley, right here, and we hosted many meetings. So collaboration is very important to get the job done. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Hassan?
It's very important to work with my elected officials and other agencies government, because both of us, we just, all agents are delivering service with the community. So if I need to do the housing, I need funding from the state and county. So I have to work with the elected person for my district. Also, if I need the state, I have to sit with my state representative and senator. So it's very important to work together to building better future for our community and residents. Thank you.
Thank you. This is one more question from the audience. What do you believe is the role of the City Council on supporting community health? Candidate Hassan.
Healthy and safety is very important, especially healthy. I do believe to get more public health for our community, more education, also vaccine, more our senior programs, and funding our nurses. So as you know, we have a shortage of medical field and staff. So I do believe funding, especially if I elect, I'm going to fund with the Hennepin County Medical Center, which is very important for our community. Thank you.
Thank you. Candidate Osman?
I do want to talk about one of the things we have done in the Minneapolis Health Department is that once I realized the opioid epidemic is getting out of control, we have to be very creative. One of the things I have done is author $350,000 and partnered with Fairview Clinic and Elliott Park Neighborhood Organization and they came up with this brilliant idea, which is medication called Praxari. Praxari is a medication, it's a new medication, it's very expensive, but the city are able to partner with the hospitals, pay individuals, and making sure these folks are getting those treatments. It's 80% rate of opioid. And once folks take that, 80% success rate. So that's one of the things that's very important. Of course, health department is everything. If that is where you eat, where you sleep, where you breathe, health department, the city of Minneapolis, it's huge and it's very important. So there's no question about it.
Thank you. All right, we have time for one last question before closing statements. And the last one is, how will you engage young people in your decisions if elected and get them more civically engaged? Candidate Osman.
The best way is to connect with them. And I was very lucky actually to a young lady that I ran to the neighborhood. She was attending university and she wanted to do an internship. So I was able to get her in my office. She was able to work, get paid, and really learn the work we do daily. And now she's going to be the future leader. So the best way is to get them in the city hall, making sure they are involved. We have great programs like Step Up program. We have a college partnership that we connect. That our successful programs, the youth can connect to the city, and most of them, especially when they do an internship, end up working for the city. So we are creating our future.
Thank you. Candidate Hassan?
Yes. If I elect a city council, I'm funding the internship program for our youth, because to get the job for, summer time is very important for our youth to get the job. And I do believe to investment, because youth is our future and our leader for tomorrow. So funding youth is very important to my community and I.
Thank you. Now it is time for closing statements. Candidates will have up to 1 minute for their closing statement. Candidate Hassan, you are first.
Again, my name is Mahmoud Hassan. I'm running for Minneapolis City Council Ward 6. I grew up in this neighborhood. My family lives in this neighborhood. I live in my neighborhood. I am father, husband, businessman. The reason I'm running because it's the most difficult time Minneapolis we're facing. As homeless, safety, education is very tough time. So we need a leader who can we trust to deliver the service we need. To make sure a leader accessible. If I elect you, I will respond your email, I will respond your phone calls, you will see me. I will do every 2 months to see with the community. I will be your voice. So to make sure, please help me together to change our neighborhood. And please vote for me November 4. I'm asking and urging you, please call your friend, your neighbor, your family to support me in my campaign. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Candidate Osman.
Again, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to us tonight. It's really important for your feedback. At the end, please stay to have a conversation with me. But like I say, it's been an honor for me to serve you and to serve the city of Minneapolis for the last 5 years. I know it's been tough, but as leaders, we have a responsibility to take care of those of us that we represent. I am the voice in the city of Minneapolis for you, and I have been, I would say, the swing votes. Sometimes, the council gets finger pointed, but we got to make sure common sense works. We got to make sure every neighborhood is not the same. We are, creating laws that will benefit the future at the same time protecting the quality of life for our neighborhood. And I know it's not enough time tonight to finish my statement and talk about all those things, but please feel free to contact me and I'll hope to get your support once again in November. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of all of the co-sponsors, I thank the candidates for being part of the democratic process by running for office and for being willing to serve our community. We hope this forum has helped you as voters make an informed decision with regard to the November 4th election. Remember, we use ranked choice voting for this election, where you vote for candidates in order of your preference, allowing you to rank your vote, first choice, second choice, and third choice. This method can allow your vote to count toward another candidate if your favorite candidate loses. If your first choice candidate is eliminated, your vote is moved to your second choice. To learn more about ranked choice voting, go to the Minneapolis Elections and Voter Services website. We also thank you, the audience, for your participation in this forum and the democratic process. We challenge you to think about what 3 things you can do now to further civic dialogue about the issues and get your friends and neighbors to participate in this important election. Nonpartisan information about candidates and about voting is also available at vote411.org. Early voting for the general election begins Friday, September 19th, and ends Monday, November 3rd. A video recording of this forum will be available unedited for viewing on the League of Women Voters Minneapolis website, lwvmpls.org. Editing of this video is authorized only for official media reporting. Footage cannot be used in campaign publicity. The recording is the property of the League of Women Voters Minneapolis. At this point, you can, and I encourage you to, show your appreciation for the candidates by your applause. Thank you for being here tonight, and please vote. Your vote is your voice and your power. Thank you.